2010 Chile earthquake was one of the most powerful earthquakes in recent history. It occurred off the coast of central Chile on Saturday, February 27, 2010 at 3:34 in the morning local time. The earthquake had a magnitude of 8.8 and shook the region for about 3 minutes. It was felt across 6 Chilean regions, from Valparaiso in the north to Araucanía in the south, affecting nearly 80% of the country's population. This earthquake was the largest to hit Chile since the devastating 19 Valdivia earthquake, which remains the most powerful earthquake ever recorded. As with previous quakes, this disaster left a lasting mark on the country's landscape and its people. The epicenter of the earthquake was located off the coast of Pelujehue, a small town in the Mall region. The earthquake was also felt as far away as Buenos Aires, Argentina, and even in parts of southern Peru. Chile's capital, Santiago, experienced intense shaking as well, though the worst damage occurred closer to the epicenter, particularly in the city of Concepcion. This earthquake, along with the resulting tsunami, had far-reaching consequences not only for Chile but also for distant locations like California and Japan. Warnings were issued across 53 countries in preparation for the tsunami's arrival. Chile is situated on the boundary between 2 tectonic plates, the Nazca and South American plates, making it particularly vulnerable to these types of natural disasters. The earthquake that struck Chile on February 27, 2010, formed along the converging boundary of the Nazca and South American tectonic plates. These plates have been moving toward each other for millions of years, creating what is known as a subduction zone. In this case, the Nazca plate is slowly being pushed underneath the South American plate at a rate of about 80 millimeters per year. Over time, pressure builds up along this fault line until it is released in the form of a massive earthquake. The 2010 Chile earthquake was the result of many years of accumulated stress between these 2 plates, finally releasing in a sudden and violent event. Before the earthquake, Chile had experienced several smaller tremors, but there was no clear indication that a major quake was imminent. Preparations for earthquakes in Chile were already part of life, as the country sits on one of the most active seismic zones in the world. People were accustomed to earthquake drills and preparedness measures. However, nothing could fully prepare them for the scale of destruction that was about to unfold. On the night of the earthquake, people in the affected areas were asleep when the ground began to shake violently. Buildings swayed, roads cracked, and the sound of crumbling structures filled the air as the earthquake continued for nearly 3 minutes, followed by strong aftershocks. As the earthquake struck, it unleashed unimaginable destruction across central Chile. The hardest hit areas included the cities of Concepcion, Arauco, and Coronel, which experienced the strongest shaking. In these areas, buildings collapsed, roads were destroyed, and entire communities were cut off from outside help. The capital city, Santiago, also suffered significant damage, though it was less severe than in other regions. The intense shaking caused massive blackouts, leaving 93% of the Chilean population without power. Communication lines were disrupted, making it difficult for people to contact loved ones or get emergency assistance. The earthquake also triggered a tsunami that devastated coastal towns, including the port city of Talcahuano. Waves crashed onto the shores, sweeping away homes, boats, and vehicles. The tsunami warnings issued across the Pacific helped prevent further loss of life, but some areas were caught off guard. Chilean officials later estimated that the combination of the earthquake and tsunami had left over 500 people dead, 25 missing, and countless others injured. The total economic losses were staggering, with estimates ranging between $15 and $30 billion. Coastal communities were particularly vulnerable, and their recovery would take years. In the immediate aftermath of the earthquake, the destruction was overwhelming. Entire towns lay in ruins, and many people were left homeless. Roughly 9% of the population in the affected areas lost their homes, and for days, thousands of people slept outside, afraid to return to their damaged buildings due to the threat of aftershocks. The government declared a state of catastrophe, and President Michelle Bachelet deployed military troops to restore order and assist in the rescue and relief efforts. Emergency services scrambled to provide aid to the injured and stranded, while volunteers and international organizations joined in the recovery efforts. The earthquake had a profound impact on Chile's natural environment. Coastal regions experienced significant changes, with some areas uplifted by up to 3 meters. These shifts caused new land masses to emerge, altering the local landscape permanently. The powerful earthquake also shifted entire cities. For example, Santiago moved nearly 28 centimeters to the west, while the city of Concepcion shifted over 3 meters. In addition to the devastation of buildings and infrastructure, the earthquake caused massive damage to nature, displacing wildlife and destroying ecosystems along the coast. The 2010 Chile earthquake had a lasting impact on the country and the world. It was one of the most powerful earthquakes ever recorded, and its effects were felt far beyond Chile's borders. The disaster highlighted the importance of preparedness in earthquake-prone regions, and Chile's response to the earthquake demonstrated the resilience of its people. Although the recovery process was long and difficult, the country eventually rebuilt much of what was lost, and lessons were learned that would help improve future responses to similar disasters. In the years since the earthquake, Chile has continued to strengthen its infrastructure and emergency systems, ensuring that it is better prepared for the next major seismic event. The 2010 earthquake served as a reminder of the country's vulnerability to natural disasters, but also its capacity for recovery. For the families who lost loved ones, the earthquake remains a tragic memory, while for others it stands as a testament to the strength and unity that emerged in the face of one of the most powerful earthquakes in modern history.